Hey y'all, welcome back to Castle Vlogs. Tonight is going to be our Talk About Tuesday. Notice the lack of tacos. We did actually go out to dinner with my mom earlier, so we kind of already had dinner. Of course, we're still going to talk about things with you guys. I think that's one of the first things we want to talk about is maybe a little bit of a change to Talk About Tuesdays. Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm already giving you guys a date night when I'm going out to eat, so I'd rather just have a conversation with you on Tuesdays.
Yeah. I think one of the problems with us trying to do the whole Taco About Tuesdays was, plans come up, plans change. My mom says, hey, I'd like to talk to you guys about something. We're going out to dinner. As some of y'all may or may not know, my mom's deaf, so there's a lot of things that we have to, help her out with or whatever. So when things come up, we really need to take care of those things first. Naturally, stuff like that comes up. Stuff with work, like last week, things changed where we couldn't really sit down and have dinner together because you had to work overnight. So I think that the idea is to take a play on the word Taco Tuesday, and we're going to be Taco About Tuesdays. So we're just going to talk to you guys about different topics. So we have, today's really more of a Q&A day, just to kind of break the ice, get some questions out that you guys sent to us to kind of answer what you guys wanted to know about us, and just kind of touch on a couple things. But I think that was our first major thing was, hey, Talk About Tuesdays are just going to be like us talking with y'all. Now, if we do have, if we do order in dinner and we have dinner here, awesome. Or if that's one of the things y'all suggest, hey, can you guys talk about Whataburger, for example? Maybe we'll do something like that. Like, that's fine, but I don't think it's going to strictly be tacos. That's really, as we've been trying to plan out, a couple weeks in advance, it's been really hard to pinpoint those. So I think this is just going to be easier for us. And it also helps to make sure that we're getting our videos out on time if we can make sure to still film on Tuesdays even if there's no tacos involved. So let's go ahead and get started. I think the first topic came from the shout out you got, right?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, you guys know I'm a big fan of Logan Delgado. He's Goody Beads. I love him, his wife Crystal, their baby Lo. They're just a great. If you're gonna follow a channel besides us, go follow that channel.
Of course, besides us.
It's Goody Beats on YouTube.
They're very local too, so it's always really nice to be able to see like other people kind of doing what we're doing, just going out there and having fun and doing videos. So it's really nice to see somebody local that's had really good success and just not just like success like fame, more of like success like they're doing well with it and they're really happy with it. So that was really nice to see. And then Cameron had reached out to him on Instagram, and I think that you got
I reached out to him just like I'm a person too, guys. You know what I mean? You may see me on YouTube, but I'm still a fan of a lot of people, and I've really come to really appreciate Logan, his message. His biggest things are nobody's better than you. If you woke up today, you're winning. Like, those are huge motivational things for me in my life. Like, start every day with the best way to start it. Like, hey, I won today. No matter what happens, I'm okay today. Definitely. So I shouted him out. I sent him a private message. I didn't know he was going to share it, honestly. He shared it, and we got a response on one of our videos asking us if we would consider keto.
Yeah, so something that Logan is really big about is the keto diet that he does, which is amazing. I think that people that are able to follow those things, they have great success with them. My brother-in-law has done it before. He had a great journey with it. A couple of friends of ours have done keto. I don't think there's anything specifically wrong with keto. I just think that, personal opinion, I don't think I would consider it. My main reason is because I'm such a picky eater. Like, if we're being honest, if we go out to dinner and I can't find anything to eat, like, I'm okay eating just a small side of something. I'm such a picky eater that I really think it would be nerve-wracking for me to have to commit to only certain food groups. So I think that's the first reason why I would have an issue with it. I know that you've kind of not necessarily dived into keto, but I know that you've experimented with like similar trials. So what did you think as far as like restrictive eating versus what you're doing now?
Well, just to touch on it, as far as liking it, not liking it, look, guys, I think it's awesome. I don't think there's anything wrong with the ketogenic diet. I think if that's something you're interested in, always do your research first, but there's a lot of great people out there on keto that will walk you through. Keto Connect, Goody Beats, Keto Dad, like there's a lot of channels that'll help you through that. Now, when I started losing weight, like I said in a previous video, I lost over 70 pounds this year. Now, I lost my weight by following John God, or Obese to Beast. He's on Instagram. He has a great YouTube channel. Another great guy, but what he taught me, which is so simple, is you lose weight in the kitchen, not in the gym. And you can't outwork a bad diet. So for me personally, Now, I don't know if there's any truth to this, but I always felt like if I was bigger and I'm adding only fats in, that can really do some damage. But again, I've never tried the ketogenic diet, so I don't know all the science behind it. But my personal thing is, I just eat clean, I eat better, I try every day to do better, but I don't think a high-fat, no-carb diet is personally good for me. But that's my opinion.
Right, and that's something else I want to touch on is these are our opinions for us. I think that people that have great success with keto should continue to do the keto because they're doing so well with it. That's amazing. This is my experience or my opinion for myself. I myself would not do it. Again, I'm such a picky eater. I think, so something I did want to segue into with the keto topic is what we are doing. I know we've talked about healthier choices or this or that. Really, the one thing that, and neither one of us are doing the same thing. I think that's been amazing. In our 5 years together, we've tried diets together. We've tried where one person diets and the other doesn't, or whatever. But I think this time we're really committed to just kind of, hey, you do your thing, I do my thing. We'll support each other, but you don't have somebody to place blame and or feel negative towards if your diet doesn't work. And I think that really helped us, again, us specifically. I think it was helpful because before we've done diets together, we're if I had a bad day and he had a great day, I hold resentment. Or if I had a bad day and then that causes him to have a bad day, he's going to be oh, well, it's your fault. Or one of us thinks, oh, it's the other person's fault, it didn't work. So I don't like that kind of negativity. So I think what we've been doing recently has really worked better for us. Me personally, I've just been focusing on portion size. So instead of grabbing a bag of chips and just eating until the bag's empty or I forget that they're there, looking and seeing, okay, serving size is 17 chips, counting out my 17 chips. So that's something that I really focused on. And I also think that for me, just small swaps. I think that having, a cup of yogurt is a little bit healthier than having a cup of pudding or something like that. So little swaps I feel are the one change that I'm making. And then of course incorporating more water, but that's a little bit more about hair, skin, and nails because I want to grow my hair out. So that's not about my diet. But you know what I mean? Just those little small swaps for me, I think have been really helpful and I've done really well on it. We are both using a certain app or calorie tracker, which I think was really neat. And it's kind of lets you set your own goals and kind of gives you little bits of advice. So I think the other thing is just holding myself accountable. I work in an office where it's just me almost all the time. So whatever I eat for lunch, nobody knows what I eat for lunch, So I think just being able to kind of hold myself accountable, that's been helpful. Did you want to kind of touch on what specifically you're doing right now?
So what I do is I intermittent fast. So I give myself a certain window. You know what intermittent fasting is, but basically I wake up.
For those of you that don't, he only eats within, I believe, an 8-hour window, right?
Right. I started off with 12, then I worked my way down to 10 to 8. Eventually, I'll try to get everything within a 4-hour one. That's my optimum goal. But right now, what it is I wake up, I don't eat anything, I don't drink calories, I don't put a calorie in until a certain time. Usually for us, because of work and stuff, I try to start eating around 6:30 at night.
Right. It's usually about the time that I get home and we've got, food in the full swing, things like that.
And there's thousands of studies out there that'll tell you how great intermittent fasting is for you.
And I'm sure there's thousands that'll tell you how bad it is. We're not here to preach or bash either.
I just saw the results of myself. That's all I can tell you is it gets my thermal energy up. I go for a walk on an empty stomach or I exercise on an empty stomach. I get that thermal energy up. And then I break my fast with something healthy every day. So it's usually chicken, broccoli, rice, chicken, green beans. It's going to be a protein, a carb, and a veggie. That's my whole diet. At night, if I'm feeling for sweets, you guys know I have an orange, I have a banana, or I have an apple. I don't stray outside the box.
I like how he says when he's feeling for sweets. I can promise you it's a nightly thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have one of those little mandarin halos or whatever they're called. Sometimes I have 3. It just depends.
I think another thing, not to interrupt, but I think another concern that I've had previously is I could go, the whole day where I won't eat anything at all, but then the next day will be all bad food. So I think my biggest thing is I was so worried about calorie counts that, you can attest to this, I was so worried about calorie counts that if I went 1 calorie over, I'd be the girl that was well, forget it, the whole day is shot, which I think is ridiculous.
On the opposite hand is, like myself, I'm sure, and her also is, we used to be bad about punishing ourselves. Like, oh crap, we went over today, so tomorrow we have to restrict so bad. And what you realize is as you go is it takes so long to add a fat pound on that you're really just, you're punishing yourself for the wrong things. I mean, you would have to have horrible, horrible cheat days to actually gain any of that.
I remember one day that just, like, this was kind of the day that really made me change my look on it. We had already started using that calorie counting app, and I had been, like, he does intermittent fasting. I go off of, like, a set schedule because it's easier for me. The way that my work schedule is when I get to the office, I usually get there a little before 8, so I eat breakfast before I actually open up the office. I eat my lunch at the same time every day because that's when the office closes, and then I eat dinner with him. So it's pretty set, give or take like an hour on each one. But I was so strict about, like, I had this for breakfast and this for lunch, and I came home, whatever we were cooking for dinner, I realized that it was going to put me over for the day, so I just said, no dinner. And I was so miserable. I was so irritable. Don't shake your head. I was mean. I was mean. It was horrible. So I think that was what kind of made me realize, like, hey, I would rather be a couple calories over than starve myself. Especially because at dinner we made, like, stuffed chicken and brown rice and broccoli. Like, it was such a good, healthy dinner, but I was so worried about being over on calories. Like, that's okay. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to go a little over or be a little under. It's okay to be a little short, but feed yourself. Like, don't starve yourself. I think that's a big thing that I've had issues with, is I was always so like, oh, hey, I didn't eat today, so I must be doing good. Like, no, that's not good. That's horrible. So
well, the best things that you guys can do for your partner, your girlfriend, boyfriend, your whatever your situation is just be the voice of reason. Oh, hey, I can't have dinner. Okay, well, you just started your whatever, whether you're calling it your diet or your eating regimen, like, your body, you're going to have migraines, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
Listen to your body first, but also just support them. Whether they decide to not have dinner or to have dinner, like, just like, okay, well, whatever you choose to do, because it's not about them being mean to you, it's about what you know that they're doing to themselves. That's the hardest part about it. Like, why are they doing that to themselves? Like,
that's something that we're 100% going to touch on in a minute. But like I said, I think we're going to wrap up this little portion of it. I think we both said everything we wanted to say.
So for me, keto is, I don't plan to try it. I'm 100% behind anybody who does keto. I'm 100% behind anybody who does IFYM. I'm 100% behind anybody who intermittent fasts. Like, choose your path and make it the best journey you can. And
I know this is probably so weird, but I love seeing people's success stories. Like, it doesn't matter if I gained 5 pounds this week or I lost 15. Like, I love seeing how everybody else does. So I love seeing people succeed. And honestly, with the keto, like, I see so many success stories. It's great. Like, there's nothing against keto. I just personally think that I wouldn't be able to do it just because of the way that I eat already. So I just think that it would be very difficult for me to try out. But we're both doing a lot better. I think right now we're also trying to stay away from, like, weight goals. I think my biggest goal is to just make better choices. And honestly, with the better choices I've made, I've noticed, like, a little bit more energy, a little bit better, just, like, other parts of my life have gotten a little bit better. So I think that's our biggest focus right now. Of course, we'll touch back on stuff like this throughout our journey. You'll notice it with us. It's just something we'll keep bringing up. But as far as the question, would we consider keto? Us specifically, right now, no. Maybe ask the question again in a couple months. Maybe, for other people, absolutely. It just, for us right now, no. Unfortunately, we would not consider keto.
Another big reason is, not that it matters, but I can't digest beef the right way. And that's a huge part of keto.
Yes, he's got digestive issues with beef and with dairy. And those are the two biggest things, is to try to get those fats in. So if he can't have those, it's hard for him. The easiest thing for him to digest is chicken, and chicken on keto can be a little bit tougher because there's not as much fat in it.
It's so high protein.
Exactly.
But again, that's
getting into so many personal levels. But of course, keto's a great diet. I think keto's a great thing to try out, and I think that if you're wanting to try it. And if you are going to try it, from things I've heard, at least go more than a week so you can notice the differences before you give up.
Right,
so
study it, guys. Understand what it is like to get into ketosis. And again, I hate to keep plugging them, but try out Goody Beach, try out Keto Connect, try out Keto Dad. Like, those people, they
check
know
other
the
people
science
out.
behind
Like,
it.
why do you think we're making this video? The whole point is, if it helps one person, it did its job. That's all I'm here for. I'm here to give you either advice or entertainment. Take it how you want.
Follow those guys, Logan Delgado, Matt and Mega on Keto Connect. You know, like those guys, they're really going to explain the science behind it, and they're going to really help you along your path. But again, just to cut it off right here, no, we're not doing keto.
All right, so our second question is, why did you start YouTube? Do you want to start on that, or?
Sure, guys, for me it's very simple. It's all about my family and friends. I live 5 hours away from them. It's hard for us to stay in touch on a day-to-day basis, so this is a way for them to catch up with me. It's a way for me to have memories to look back on in 10 years, for me and my wife to see the progressions we make. I in no way started YouTube to try to get 10 million followers or get rich or whatever. I have a job. I can support myself. That's not a shade at anybody who starts YouTube, but if I was going to do it for a monetary standpoint, I would do every gimmick. I would post about every little challenge that came up. I'm just here to connect with you guys, people I don't know, hopefully bring you in, hopefully we get to know each other, chat it up, and my family and my wife and our memories. That's what my channel's about.
So I believe, personally, me starting YouTube, I think it was just something to challenge myself. I've always been big about, like, logical solutions, whatever made the most sense, whatever I was going to do, etc., etc. So my biggest concern is I feel like creative outlets, I wouldn't challenge myself and I would just kind of stray away from them. So I think that as a couple, we've kind of, you know, tried to challenge ourselves in 2019. A big thing for me was creativity, and I think this is helpful because it gives me something to kind of play around with, stuff to learn, things like that. I will say that, you know, just speaking for Cameron, I know one of the issues that he faces is like a social interaction type of thing, and so I think this is really helpful for him to kind of
I'm very
force himself on camera.
I'm so socially anxious about everything, guys. You don't understand. If I'm at a restaurant, I'm just very put off. But this has opened me up a lot more. I'm wanting to talk to more people, go out and shake hands, talk to people. So this has really helped me in a lot of those ways that you wouldn't think about. I
think he likes it because it makes me, it gives me someone to talk to. So I have somebody to talk to. I talk all the time. If he's listening or if he's not listening, it doesn't matter. I'm talking. So I think that this is also helpful for that. So it's just really a creative outlet for us and something for us to have fun with and kind of work towards, you know, going forward. Our next question is, do you have or want kids? To answer the first part, no, we do not have children. I would really hope that if we did, you would see them by now. We've been in this for 2 weeks. I'd hope that you'd at least see them at some point. No, we don't have any children at the moment.
I can't have children, unfortunately. We've spent thousands and thousands of dollars. I have low motility. That's probably more than you wanted to know, but there's a reason why we don't have children.
We have, you know, I guess if that's the way you want to word it, trial and error. No, we do not have children. We do not plan on having children. If the opportunity arises for us to have children aside from naturally, I think that's something we would consider, but that would be way further down the line.
I'm definitely open for adoption. Probably,
yes.
And I'll probably wait about 5 years. I want to hit around that 32, 33 range, you know what I mean, before I start really considering having children.
We have a lot of personal and couple goals that we'd like to reach before we get to that point. And I know everybody always tells you, oh, if you wait till you're ready, you'll never be ready. You know, unfortunately, we can't have children on our own, but fortunately, that gives us the flexibility to be able to wait. So, you know, we always look at everything as a blessing, and of course, you know,
but
it wasn't in the plans.
I love children. I have a niece and a nephew.
They're amazing.
Julian and James are so funny. They're great to be around. My goddaughter Hayden, I love her so much. She's a joy to be around. So I still get my fulfillment. You know, it's like what they say, when God closes the door, he opens another. So now I just get I get to be a part of 3 children's lives day in and day out versus my own.
We need to focus that energy on those children. You know, a little bit more so than I feel like if we did have our own child, it'd be a little bit harder to put that effort in one way or the other. So I do think, you know, we take our own spin on it. So to answer the question, no, we don't have children at the moment. No, we do not want any children. The next question we have would be, oh, sorry, I read that wrong. Who would you love to work with? So
I think it's pretty easy, guys. I would love to work with Logan Delgado, Crystal, Baby Low. I'd love to get together with Matt and Mega off Keto Connect. Even though I don't do keto, I think they have great content. You know, and of course, there's my favorites that I've been watching for years: Roman Atwood, Casey Neistat, those type of people. But
I think he's been into this, or thought a lot more. I think he read this question and thought more about it than I did to get started for the day. I know another one you mentioned was the Obese to Beast.
Yeah, John Glad. I'd love to work with him on a video.
Zach Attacks Fat and Jordan Shrinks. I think that'd be great to be able to touch base. I know all three of them are friends already, so I think it'd be great to kind of get together with all three of them. Like, that'd be a nice little double date with us, and then Obese to Beast just hanging out as a fifth wheel.
John has a girlfriend.
I know, but I'm saying all of us all film together, so, you know, he can just be our little fifth wheel.
Some other people I really enjoy, because I love to cook. Brothers Green, I love those guys. They're super cool. Josh and Mike. You can follow Mike at Life by Mike G on Instagram. He's got a lot of great content, him and his wife. Like, I try to follow people who kind of have the same mentality as me, that they're all about promoting positivity, love. You know what I mean? Like, just letting people know that it's okay to be who you are, what you are.
I do think it'd be interesting to work with, I know, like, Jeremy and Audrey Roloff do, like, their books and their podcast, so I think we really need to kind of, like, touch base with them and, like, do an interview with them or something like that, so I think that'd be really, really cool to do also. I don't know, there's a lot of people I'd love to work with. I'm hoping that doing some of this kind of gets us those connections that we have the opportunity to be able to work with some of those people, but I do think stuff like that would be super interesting, so that's some fun stuff that we can talk about.
Even if that never comes to fruition, I still love you guys. Keep putting out the great content.
Alright. Our next question, the question was, do you have any advice? I don't know what they meant by that, so I'm going to take it in two ways. First is, do you have any advice for someone starting YouTube? I would say just do it, because if I waited until, because I kind of like the kids' answer, waited until I was ready, I was never going to do it. If we waited until we had the best cameras and all the right lighting, and we waited until we were, you know, in this fancy place that we wanted to film at, we would have never done it. If we waited until we had a year's worth of content written out, we would have never done it. So just pull out a camera, film something, and post it.
My advice is,
you'll figure it out.
Don't worry about what angle you have. Is this going to look right? Is my chin going to be low?
Oh God, that was my worst thing. Is my makeup done?
Like,
right.
Just hit that red button on the camera, guys, and send it to the world. If your message is anything that you feel like is worth watching, somebody will find you and somebody will watch you. And hey, hit me in the link, and I'll definitely follow your channel.
Yeah, send us a message. Tell us that you've got something up and coming, or you've been working on something new. We'd love to see it. That's what we're here for. Like I said.
But you have to have 3 criteria for me to follow. You have to be positive energy, spread love, and you can't be negative about anything.
Oh,
Everything happens in your life for a reason, and it's going to lead to something good. And I'm a firm believer in speaking into existence. Hey, we wanted to start a YouTube channel. I talked about it. We're going to start. And finally, we broke down and
take away the if. Take away the if, put in the when. So instead of saying if it happens, say when it happens. It's just a lot of, like, positive thinking, honestly. And I guess that's another part of the question is, do you have any advice? Just general life advice? Positive thinking. I read something the other day that said, replace your sorries with thank yous. I apologize for everything. I don't know why I do it, but I always do it. It annoys him, drives him nuts. So instead of saying, hey, sorry I was late to dinner, I should replace that with, thank you for waiting for me.
Now, if you know me personally, you know that I never say sorry. I cannot be sorry for something I intended to do or something I intended to say.
Exactly. No matter what it came from.
What state of mind I was in, how angry I was, I intended to say that way, or I intended to make that action. So with that, because I don't say sorry, every day I'm trying to be a better person, so I have less and less chance of somebody feeling like I owe them an apology.
Needing to say it. Exactly. But I do think reading that was kind of neat. Living with somebody who never says sorry and being somebody who's overly apologetic. You know that. I say sorry for sneezing. I say sorry for walking the wrong direction. Whatever. I say sorry for everything. So I'm trying to work on something like that. Like, replace your negatives with positives. So take out your sorry and put in a thank you. So like I said, instead of saying, oh, hey, sorry for messing up that sentence. Oh, thanks for being patient with me. I just think something that simple just really gives you a whole different mindset. But like he said, like we mentioned earlier, instead of saying if, put in the when. If we get started, I'd like to do this. No, when we get started, I'd like to talk about this. So I think just speak it out. I know it sounds stupid, but a lot of people do the daily affirmations. If you live alone, it's okay to talk to yourself. It's always okay to talk to yourself. I talk to myself all the time.
My life advice for you guys is my number one piece of life advice is spread what you want. If you want positivity, spread it. If you want love, spread love. If you want kindness, spread kindness.
Absolutely.
All that stuff comes back to you, and we have to leave this world better than what we got it in. I know that sounds crazy to you guys, but my children's children or my niece's nephew's children should get something better than what I got.
Absolutely.
It's 2019. We're all one race, guys. We're all one person. Whatever your sexual orientation is, whatever your gender, whatever your color, spread the same love that you would want to get back to that person. Shake their hand, smile,
Absolutely.
high five. I say hello to every single person I meet, even if they're not talking to me. I make sure I stop and say hello.
I'm sure people at the grocery store hate us. We talk to everybody that we can. If you are living and breathing inside of a grocery store, we're gonna have a conversation with you.
Absolutely.
So
I want you to
if you're looking at Braunfels and you see us out and about, say hi, because I promise you it's gonna be the best conversation you have all day. We are so big about that.
It's not a hot topic to talk about. A lot of people don't, but I used to suffer severe depression, and I wish that somebody would have stopped and smiled at me or shook my hand or said, "Hey, what's up, bud? How's your day going?"
Right.
Now, if somebody stops and says, "How's your day going?" and I say another day, you could dismiss that, but what I mean is I got another day.
Exactly.
I got one more day to wake up and smile and be happy and get my life going. It's just little things that you don't think about can really change people's lives. So whatever you want, spread it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the smallest little smile can make such a difference. Just telling you. So try it out. The second part of that, when they asked us, so we talked about YouTube, we talked about life advice. I didn't know how, the question just read, do you have advice? So I also decided we could spin that into, do we have any relationship advice?
I don't.
Because we are married.
I honestly do not. Now,
he always says he doesn't. Now, I just want to
relationship is going to look different every day than yours.
I agree. I want to cut him off right there. He always says he doesn't have advice, but every time we talk about this, he ends up saying something. So clearly he does have advice. I'm going to give his advice that he doesn't want to give, okay? The advice that he doesn't want to give is understand when and if your partner is ever angry, they're not angry at you. They're angry at the situation. So I think the biggest thing that's ever prevented us from fighting is we only allow one to be angry at a time. So if he's upset, I will understand that he's upset about something. He could even be upset at me. But as long as I don't feed into that attitude or that upset, anger, whatever, if I don't feed into it, it dies. It goes away. And vice versa. If I'm angry or I'm in a bad mood, as long as he doesn't combat it, it's something that's worked for us. So if you have something that you just feel like you need to work on or whatever, it's something to try. Again, it's not like an end all be all or a fix it, an overnight fix it, but I think that's just and it's not just don't be angry. Essentially the whole thing is understand who your partner is. So I understand the way that Cameron works. I understand the kind of person that he is. He understands how I am. So learning those little things about each other has gotten us to such a place where we can avoid arguments altogether.
It's not advice, but this is my rule. I go by 5 by 5, right? If it's not going to matter in 5 years, I don't spend more than 5 minutes upset about it. I give myself a limited window to be upset and work through it. But then I push the anger aside. Okay, now let's work through this. Now let's talk about it. Because if it's not going to matter in my marriage in 5 years, I'm not going to waste more than 5 minutes talking about it.
Absolutely. And I think that a big thing, that I see a lot of people do is figure out your partner's love language. Figure out if you're big about the Enneagram. Figure out their level on the Enneagram. Figure out who your partner is as a person, and I promise it'll make things easier to understand why they do certain things.
And also, if you're like me and you're not affectionate, you got some trouble coming.
But that's another, that kind of feeds into what I was just saying. Figure out who your person is. So figure out what I like or what I don't like, and that way it gives you, even if it's hard for you to do, you at least know what to. So anyways, just things like that. Like I said, that was just a general question, so we took our spin on it. If you commented that question and that we didn't answer it for you, please let us know what you meant so we can answer it a little bit better next time, okay? The next one is, looking back on the videos we've posted, is there anything that we would change? I think we talked about that with the Talk About Tuesdays. I think that's about it. I really liked what we did. I liked the little mess ups that we had. I liked the 5-minute videos. I liked the 35-minute videos. I think that having regrets is horrible. So I think that everything we did got us to here. So that's what we're doing.
I wouldn't change anything, guys. I just don't. Again, it's just one of my life rules. I just don't live like that. I'm happy with the content I put out. If you guys have any suggestions, I will gladly listen to them, and we can even open up a dialogue about it. But as of today, all those videos, I'm going to get better every single time I upload. So it's just a progression thing for me. I wouldn't change anything. I'm not,
I like what we've done, because even if all I do is look back and laugh at them later, I have something to laugh at. The next couple questions kind of get into be a little bit more fun, so we'll dive into those. What is your dream car?
I don't have a dream car. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm not a very materialistic person.
Okay, so what are your qualifications of a dream car? Like, what are your must-haves on a car?
It has to be a Chevrolet.
So you got a dream car.
It's not a dream car.
He has a dream make. I'm so sorry.
It has to be a truck. It has to be the right price point, and it has to make sense. Everything in my life has got to make sense.
Absolutely. I think if I was to pick like a dream car, I'd probably say like a Dodge Challenger. I just like the way they look. I don't know anything about cars, so if it's pretty, that's what I'm looking for. Pretty much it. Where would your dream vacation be?
I've actually got the privilege of traveling a lot in my life, but I think my dream vacation would be Tokyo. I'd love to go to Japan and just experience the culture, and not the tourist attractions. I'm talking about going down the little alleys and the food carts and stuff like that. I love that type of stuff. So that would be my dream vacay, would be Tokyo.
I think mine would be very similar. I'd love to do something like that, where it's a big culture dive. I have not traveled in the same aspect. I've traveled a lot of cross country. My dad used to be a truck driver, so we've done a lot of like cross country driving travel, but I've never been on a plane. So really, I think my dream vacation would be anywhere that I'd have to fly, just so I could have that experience. So I think that would be mine. The last one is, what is your favorite form of social media or your favorite app on your phone?
Instagram, obviously. That's my number one. I love Snapchat to snap with my friends, but a social media platform where I feel free to get my content and stuff out there, where I can post about anything, is Instagram. I just love what they have and how they make it so accessible for me. Twitter used to be my favorite, but Twitter has become overly political, and it's just this whole, everybody's beating up on somebody or talking down to somebody, and I hate rude people who read my blog at CameronsCommentary.com, check that out. But I hate rude people. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, and they're just bullying each other, and the message is getting it's weird now.
I definitely agree. I think that, I know this is going to sound cliche, but I think every app that I have on my phone has a specific purpose. And so, for example, like for my job, for my business, I love the Facebook app. I love the things that I'm able to do that, people weren't able to do a couple years ago, or, even just a couple months ago with businesses. But as far as like personal expression, absolutely Instagram. I love everything about it. I love just being able to share stuff and just kind of the newer things they're coming out with and different things that you can post, or different ways that you can post. I love the way that it's coming out with different things. And then of course, another favorite is Canva, just like my creation app, which I think is just amazing because I use it for YouTube, I use it for my blog, I use it for my businesses, I use it for everything. So that was really fun for me. Did you have anything else you'd like to talk about today, just to throw out there?
By the way, this video is in no way sponsored by Instagram. I just happen to like Instagram.
Yes, everything we talked about today was just personal opinions from our list of questions that we had. So I promise we will always tell you when we have things that are sent to us, or if we've purchased something, we'll always tell you about that. Now, to wrap up today, I think the last thing we'll talk about is the rest of our week. So Friday is date night. I have an early morning Saturday, so we'll probably do a short date night. I don't really know what all we have planned, but we'll figure it out as we go. It's usually how our date nights go. Are you planning dinner this week, or am I?
I don't really care.
I know we're kind of alternated, so we'll figure out whose turn it is, and we'll go from there.
If you guys want, I'll do another date night under $30 for you guys. If you want to check something like that out.
Absolutely. We could do something like that again.
Leave your questions in the comments. Leave your comments. If you're going to be rude and nasty, that's fine too. I expect that to come.
Give us some feedback, whatever kind of feedback it is. Give us suggestions. If you have a place that you'd like for us to try out for date night, please absolutely leave them. Send me something on Instagram, send him Instagram, whatever it is. Send us something as far as suggestions. So that's what we're going to try to do. We'll try to do a suggestion date night. So even if it's a local place to you, like you can only find it in your city, tell us what it is and we'll find something that's very similar and we can kind of compare, okay? So send us some ideas for date night.
Also, we have an unboxing coming really soon. So
absolutely. We're waiting on a nice little gift package. So when that package comes in, we're going to do an unboxing. We will post that video, of course, once we've unboxed it, and then been able to try the products and let you know how we felt about them. So that should be coming up.
No spoilers, no teasers. It's going to be a surprise, guys.
Yes, absolute surprise. So we won't give you any feedback. Don't even ask until we have it. So that will come up sometime this week or next. Again, we're just once we have the package, we'll have it ready to go.
The book you're reading right now.
Yes. So I know that earlier we mentioned Jeremy and Audrey Roloff. So that was one of the, we asked, somebody asked if there was somebody we'd like to work with. I did mention them. I'm going to go grab that book really quickly.
Yeah, I don't know what that book is. I don't read a whole lot. But she really enjoys the book. She has a giveaway going on Instagram, I think, right now, where you can get an advanced copy of the book. Also, there's, I don't know, there's some type of group she's involved with.
Yes,
maybe
so, okay,
I don't know.
Listen. All right, so the book that I'm reading right now is by Jeremy and Audrey Roloff. It is A Love Letter Life. It is their book about their dating journey. So from, the time they committed to start dating until their wedding day. So the front part of it says, pursue creatively, date intentionally, and love faithfully. This is an advanced reader copy. I was lucky enough to end up with 2 of these. So this one is my personalized one that's been signed. I also have a secondary advanced reader copy. So
you could win.
Yes, you could win. So I will post some of the information in the comments below, but just to give you a little bit of an idea about it, the book itself does not come out until April 2nd. I think that's still about 2 weeks away. So I have a full copy of the book. It's not just a teaser. It is the full book, start to finish. So I have an additional one. I have absolutely loved the book. I've already been able to read through it pretty quickly. I'm almost done with the book. It's absolutely amazing. It's just fun to read, and it just kind of gives you some insight into how their lives were at that time. Personally, I think it just talks a lot about, dating, and the big thing for me was dating intentionally, making sure to date your spouse, regardless of what point you are in your love story. I think one of the biggest things was to...
Is there anything they should know? Is it faith-based? Is it anything
Yes,
like that?
So, if you know anything about Jeremy and Audrey Roloff, it is faith-based. Of course, one of the things it says is love faithfully. Now, as far as the giveaway, I am leading a launch team for their book. So if you go to teamroloff.com, you'll see a list of all of the launch teams. My team is Living Out Love. So if you select that team, you can insert your information and you'll automatically be joined into my launch team. Once you're on my launch team, I will pick one of my teammates to get an advanced reader copy. When you join my team, if you don't win the copy, when you join the team, you will automatically get the first 3 chapters for free to try it out before the book actually comes out. And if you pre-order their book, whether you're on a team or not, if you pre-order this book between now and April 2nd, they have a whole bunch of freebies that they're giving out. Some of the presets that Jeremy has for his photography, just a whole bunch of other little freebies that are really neat. And just to wrap it up, they are doing a book tour once the book comes out. And if you aren't able to go to one of the cities they go to, they also have a live signing they're going to do on live on webcam. You can sign up for that as well. So if you sign up for that, you still get the freebies. And you'll get a signed book by them. You'll get to interact with them in their video whenever they do that. So.
Okay, so just to close out for me, guys, on my Instagram channel, CameronCastle80, as soon as I get 5,000 followers, I'm giving a $100 gift card away. It could be to you, it could be to somebody you select. But as soon as I get 5,000 followers, I'm giving away a $100 gift card. And you guys get to choose the gift card. As soon as you win, as soon as I get your name and I DM you that you've won, you let me know what the gift card is, and I will be giving you a $100 gift card.
Beautiful. That's awesome. I know that I'm working on some other stuff with mine too, so stay tuned. I'll give you some more information and some more details on that. And
we still have the 1,000 sub giveaway going on too. So
yes, for YouTube. So
as soon as we get 1,000 on here, we're good.
Exactly. All of these giveaways are not capped. As soon as we reach that number of people, we will begin that. That has nothing to do with it ends on Friday or whatever. These are just strictly to kind of grow our communities. We really just want to be able to reach out to more people and want to be able to talk more to you guys. So, just keep following along and let us know if you guys have questions or comments or suggestions or whatever it may be. We hope you enjoyed Talk About Tuesday. I know we got way off topic a whole bunch of times, but what else are we going to talk about?
I'm doing a video tomorrow, so stay tuned for that one. It's going to be all about the things I have coming in the future, what my plans are, what my giveaways are going to be. So I'll be recording that tomorrow. So that'll be
yes. We wanted to just do Q&A today. So some of these things just happened to come up. You guys asked about Instagram, so we talked about that. You guys asked about people we want to work with, so we talked about their book. These just happened to come up in the questions. Now tomorrow we'll do a full video I think tomorrow will be strictly Cameron and his goals coming up, and then Thursday I'll do one that's just strictly my goals and my stuff coming up, just so we can kind of get you guys a little bit more one-on-one time. So just keep an eye out, stay tuned, keep watching, of course hit subscribe, like and comment. Head on over to Instagram and check out our pages there. I believe _Brooke_, and yours
It'll be
is
in the description, guys.
Absolutely.
Guys, remember, 5,000, I give away a $100 gift card. That could be anywhere, but that'll be in the description. Show link, all that stuff.
Yes.
Tomorrow I'll have a video coming out explaining further into detail what I'm looking to do.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks again for watching, guys. Y'all have a great night.